Hi guys, and welcome to Studio Wildlife. In this video I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I painted this oil painting of amber. After collecting some reference photos using amber as my model, I drew out a quick sketch of the composition onto a 16 by 23 inch canvas and then blocked in a quick underpainting using raw umber acrylic paint. So this is what you can see me doing here. I use more watered down transparent paints for the lighter areas and thicker, more opaque paints, less watered down, for the darker areas. If you enjoy watching this process, please make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. It means so much to us. Next I move on to the oils. So I started with a small number 5 round brush and I'm using it for the details. I don't usually paint like this, usually I build up in layers, but I thought I'd go straight in with some details using the oil paints. All I'm using are a mix of raw umber, burnt umber, some black, some yellow ochre, some cadmium red and some blue for this, and a little bit of titanium white. And I'm just mixing my colours as I see them on the screen. I don't really have a good reference screen, all I'm doing is painting from my phone, so what a lot of you guys will be doing at home as well. And I'm just using that small round brush, it's a synthetic brush, just to build up the details of the nose, the eyes and the mouth. I wanted to do this first because I wanted to try and get a likeness straight away, so I thought if I was a bit more refined with it, going in a bit more carefully at the start, I'd be able to keep that likeness all the way through. Next, for the side of the face, I decided to switch to a bigger brush. One of the big tips with painting is that little bit of variation by using some different sized brushes. Having those different brush marks on the painting or on the canvas makes a real big difference to the interest of the final piece. So I'm using here mixes of a large flat brush and a small filbert brush, as well as that detail brush I was using before. Next, I move on to the body, and again, using the same principle, I'm starting with a big, thick filbert brush, and I'm just blocking in the basic shapes. Same as with my acrylic paintings, I work from dark to light and build up the light shapes on top of the dark ones to try and establish that 3D form. So once I'd got the basic colours and shapes in, I decided to then blend it back with a fan brush, just to smooth out that skin tone. Okay, next I wanted to work on that shoulder and that arm. So for the shoulder and the arm, I was just, the attention isn't really on the arm, so the arm is just there. It's not really the most important piece or the most important part. The most important part of this painting for me was the face and the shoulder, so that's where I want that nice, sharp, backlit bit of blue light hitting. The skin tone is quite warm, but that light is quite cold, and I think it really contributes to establishing the form of this painting. For the hair, again, I didn't want that much detail. All I really wanted was the basic shapes. For the clothes, I did exactly the same thing, working from dark to light, using the big filbert brush just to block in those shapes, block in those colours. Using a small round synthetic detail brush, just to render that fabric just a little bit more. And then again, once that was done, I just knocked it back and blended it together with the fan brush a little bit more. When I'm doing these oil paintings, I try to focus on the light. The light is what makes these paintings look 3D, what makes them look more realistic. If you've got a flat image, or a flat painting with no real light, you can't really establish the shapes very well. You can't really establish a 3D form. That light that hits the shoulder really worked to establish that 3D shape. The face, in my opinion, looks a little bit flat because the lighting wasn't there, but that shoulder really looks round, really looks 3D, and that fabric really looks round and really looks 3D because it's got that structure of warm light from one side and cold light on the other. For the background, all I'm really doing is just blocking in some lilacs and some purples and some mauves and some light pinks, and then I will eventually blend them all together. I wanted it to appear like Amber was sitting sort of in the folds of a bed sheet, but I didn't want it to look too realistic, the background, so I blended out those folds and just kept them quite loose and almost abstract in nature. And then again, just for the background, I ended up smoothing it all back at the end with that fan brush. Here's the finished painting. I really hope you like it and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you did and I'll paint some more people for you. As always, thank you for watching and please head over to Studio Wildlife for more art tips.